he flips it, reasonably speaking, he will see that the Palestinians have been at the receiving end. They are the occupied people. It is their land that has been stolen. It is them who have been living in open air prison, as President Jimmy Carter said, which is called Gaza. And Israel has been just shooting at them, bombing them mercilessly. And he continues to say Israel has to defend itself. I mean, against what?
All right, let's talk to viewers. Marion is first in Grovetown, Georgia, Democrat. Good morning, Marion.
Good morning. I first want to say how heartbroken I am for both the Jews that have the innocent Jews and the innocent Palestinians. I think it's just horrible how organized religion can be absolutely deadly and make people not be able to think. But my question is this, and I'll read this, and then if you don't mind, would you answer what Netanyahu and Hamas, their relationship is? Because let me read this, and then would you respond? This is from the Times of Israel. For years, various governments led by Benjamin Netanyahu took an approach that divided power between the Gaza Strip and the West Bank, bringing Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas to his knees while making moves that propped up the Hamas terror group. And then I've read also that Netanyahu would let money freely go into Hamas's hands, keeping Hamas sort of in power to cause chaos so that they could use Hamas as a reason to show what victims they are. And this, I don't blame the Jews at all. I blame governments that use this kind of horribleness to make policy. Thank you very much.
Nihad.
Thank you for your question and your comment. First of all, you said organized religion, Jews, Muslims. I don't really see it that way. This is not a fight between Jews and Muslims. This is an occupation by the Zionist movement who politicized and misinterpreted Judaism and convinced many Jews that this is their homeland. Go to Palestine and take over the land from the Palestinians, the indigenous inhabitants. From me, it is not a Muslim versus Jewish. No, I have so many people from the Jewish community work in my organization defending the Palestinian rights. There are tens of thousands of Jewish Americans. You see them today everywhere protesting and believing that Israel is an apartheid state. Young Jewish Americans are growing more angry that they have been lied to about the idea of Israel linked to Judaism. The group Natura La Carta does not believe that Israel is a legitimate state. These are Jewish Americans and Jewish Israelis. So this is not a fight between two religions. The religions are the farthest from this conflict. It is a misuse and misinterpretation of a religion, namely Judaism, to impose certain people on other land and other people. So this is really very important to me because this is not about religion. It is about oppression of other people, misinterpreting religion.
And
the second point,
yeah, Nihad, I was going to ask you about the second point. Go ahead.
The second point, what Israel is doing to Palestinians, this is just like divide and conquer. I do not believe that we should not give too much power for the Israeli government, successive Israeli governments, to divide the Palestinians. It's an occupation. And the Palestinians are trying to defend themselves for 75 years against the oppression and against apartheid.
Let's talk to Amy, who's in Marion, Indiana, a Muslim American. Hi, Amy.
Hi. That's the smartest man I've ever heard talk. Everybody needs to listen to him. We all need to stop fighting. God's mad at the Zionists. He's real mad. He's going to come put a wall. He's real mad. Those are innocent people. The Palestinians are innocent. They didn't do anything to anybody.
All right, Amy, let's go to a Republican in Gambrills, Maryland. Michael, good morning.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me. First off, I want to start off, I'm a far-right Republican, and I support their fight because it's much like the fight that that Americans faced against King George when we gained our independence. That's what they're going through. Having your land stolen, and not just your land, but your dignity. That's what that is. I've heard of people getting kicked off their land there. It's a horrible situation to live through. But I want to say that Palestine right now is facing something that Americans have been facing. Americans in Europe are under this kind of Zionist control. And the only media we get is Zionist-controlled media, Zionist-controlled banking. If we don't go along with them, they drop us off a financial cliff.
All right, Michael. And Nihad, I wanted to go back to something you said before, which is that your community is on edge. What's your message to members of the Arab community and members of the Muslim community?
I usually counsel the community, and I'm counseling myself. Look, we are a believer in God. We believe that God controls everything, but also you and I, and not only American Muslims, the general public, like Michael, like Marianne, like so many people started to find out that they have been lied to for decades. The media, the mainstream media, has done a great disservice to journalism by being one-sided all the time from the beginning of the conflict. One of the reasons I started to do this work is my honest disgust with the media, how it's been portraying the victims as victimizers, how they have been dehumanizing my faith, my people, myself, and others. And we haven't had the chance even to express ourselves as humans. Look at us. We speak, we talk, we have a heart, we have a head, we have brain, we have eyes, we have ears. Our humanity has been taken away from us by the misinformation for decades. So for my Muslim community, I would say, look, your activism is working. Your speaking up is working. More Americans believe in your message. More Americans believe that American money should stay at home. American weapons should not be shipped to Israel to bomb innocent people under the pretext of defending yourself. This is insane, but what you're doing is massive. The day after tomorrow, Saturday, there will be a massive rally in Washington, D.C. If you are in the area, come and join. If you are in your cities, look up the Muslim community or Palestinian community's activities, or the Jewish progressive activists. They have been doing all marvelous jobs. We have to make sure that our voices are there, because the price that we get here from being dehumanized, being insulted, being discriminated against is nothing to the price that the people of Gaza and Palestine have been paying. So I thank you for your advocacy, for your courage, for your patience. And also, Mimi, if I may say, if you encounter any discrimination or any bias, our organization is here for you. All our services are free of charge. Just look up CAIR. We have 35 offices nationwide. All our services are for you. You're not alone, and we are working with you. And also, you're not alone because you have so many Americans who believe in justice for all, including the Palestinians.
Nihad, American officials have always said that Israel has the right to defend itself. After that horrible attack on October 7th on Israeli civilians, what do you see as the appropriate response from Israel?
I think, look, all these clashes are horrible, and there are many civilians who die on both sides. And I, as a Muslim, as a Palestinian, I'm against the hurting of any human being, especially civilians. However, our politicians are misleading us, misleading the public. The occupier, according to international law, the occupier does not have the right to self-defense if they're occupying other people. The occupied people, in accordance with international law, have the right to defend themselves, So this total allegiance to Israel at the expense of our values as Americans, as universal human beings, as people who believe in international law and the rule of law, this is really